Hi guys, in this video we want to let you know that Nnamdi Kanu was very pained, and the last message I sent to Buhari in the grave was very shocking because Buhari has caused him pain. He was the one that made him to be in this kind of situation, and the message he sent to him is very strong message. And in these videos we want to let you know that, and this man, what is said about Buhari and Nnamdi Kanu will make you understand why Nnamdi Kanu sent strong message like that to Buhari in the grave. So I'm going to play you this full video of this man for you to have the full knowledge of what is said in this video.
Let us put sentiment aside and wear our thinking cap, and then give ear to the voice of reasoning. Since 2017, Nnamdi Kanu began to shout at Buhari.
And now, for you to have a better understanding of what Buhari did to Nnamdi Kanu, I'm going to show you 5 things that Buhari did to Nnamdi Kanu that made me so painful and so angry like that. Number 1, arrest and detention, 2015. In October 2015, Buhari government arrested Nnamdi Kanu in Lagos. Upon his arrival from the UK, he was accused of treasonable felony for calling for the succession of Biafra. He was detained despite court orders granting him pay early on. You see now, that was number 1 thing that he did to him. Number 2, detention despite court orders. Buhari administration ignored multiple court orders that rule Kanu should be released. This raised serious concern about the violations of human rights and rule of law. That was the second thing that Buhari did. So painful. He did not obey the court order. He did all that to President Kanu, and this is a painful situation. The third one is military invasion of his home in 2017. Operation Python Dance. In September 2017, the Nigerian Army launched Operation Python Dance 2 in the southeast. During the operation, Kanu's home in Afraudukui, Abia State, was invaded. Kanu fled the country after the raid, claiming that the military attempted to assassinate him. Do you hear that? That was the third thing that Buhari did to him. Very painful. They invaded his home. How can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? This is so painful. This is a so painful situation that Buhari government did against his fellow man, his fellow citizen. So painful, so painful. So that was the third one. The fourth one is rearrest and extraordinarily rendition. In June 2021, Kanu was forcibly brought back to Nigeria from Kenya in what has been widely described as extraordinary rendition. For normal extraordinary extradition process was followed. This act violated international laws and Kenya's sovereignty. That was the fourth thing that Buhari did against it. The first, they illegally arrested him. They are brought him back. The fifth one is the continuous detention without final judgment. He has been in the custody since 2021. So after the 2021 rendition, Kanu was kept in DSL custody in Abuja, even when the Court of Appeal ruled in October 2022 that his rendition was illegal and he should be free. Buhari government refused to release him. The government appealed the judgment to delay his release. You could see the fifth thing that Buhari did against Nnamdi Kanu. So it was so painful, so very painful. How would they have done this kind of thing to a man like a man that has blood running in his vein? So painful. So this what made Nnamdi Kanu to raise curse on Buhari even when he was being buried in the grave yesterday. This is a painful scenario. This is a painful situation. So you've known the 5 things that Buhari and his government did against Nnamdi Kanu, and of course This is a situation that made Mazi Kanu to be so pained, and nobody has ever gone through this kind of a painful situation like this in the past. This is a painful situation. Buhari government, and then if we are not actually including this in this episode, he must have told Tinubu not to release him, and that's why Tinubu has been playing politics with his freedom ever since he got to power in 2023.
Let's put sentiment aside. Let us put sentiment aside and wear our thinking cap, and then give ear to the voice of reasoning. Since 2017, Nnamdi Kanu began to shout that Buhari is led, and everyone was taking him for a joke. And Nnamdi Kanu gave Nigerians 3 challenges, which he did. That now the news has planned that Buhari has finally passed out. He gave them 3 challenges. 1, the first challenge that Buhari should come out openly and grant public interview. I don't think if that very one was met. 2, he said that there's a discussion he had with Buhari, that the very man ruling today should come out and tell the Nigerians what he and Buhari had, the discussion that 2 of them had, an agreement that 2 of them had, that if the person ruling be able to tell, then he, Nnamdi Kanu, would drop the agitation of Biafra. 3, that he, Buhari, should speak his language, his mother tongue language, which is Fufude. These 3 challenges, Buhari and Nigerians never met up with it, and today they are telling us that Buhari is led. Now ask yourself this question: why the sudden confession by Garba Shehu? Why the sudden confession, now confessing that the story of Rudent attacking the presidential villa was fabricated by him? I know that when Buhari came back, they removed the door because the fingerprint of the president, Buhari, couldn't access the code to unlock the door. They have to pull the door and refuse it. Why did they do that? Why do they do it? There are so many questions begging for answers over this man's leadership and his death. Like I said in one of my videos, in my other page, I've made video on this before. Say that when this man leaves office, in a space of 1 year to 2 years, the story will change, that he's dead. And that is what just happened today. So let's just ask ourselves this question: why did Garba Shehu now confess that he fabricated the story? Why? Because if the contract that they have with the so-called Buhari is not over, Garba Shehu wouldn't have come open to make this very publication, because definitely it will raise a lot of dust. But he have seen that, hey, it is over, nothing can be done to him, nobody will come to attack him or come after him, so let him let the cat out of the bag. And definitely he let the cat out of the bag. And this evening now, the news is all over that Buhari has passed away. You see, Nigeria is a country where sentiments overshadow the truth. Now, have you asked yourself why all this while that they have been charging Nnamdi Kanu in court, charging him of treason, charging him of terrorism and everything? Why didn't they add that he declared the president dead while the president was still alive? What stops them from adding that as a charge? Asking him to prove his point beyond reasonable doubt. Or even Buhari, when he was still alive, coming to court to say, man, you said that I'm dead, prove yourself, prove your point beyond reasonable doubt. And that point, that very charge was never added in the charges against Nnamdi Kanu. It's a point for you to ask yourself questions. If this man was wrong or right. And today he's no more. Eh? Nigerians, what a reason. Ejile bread newly and gare.